Egyptian principles. So most of everything that we have in I brought up the English language. The letter A didn't just fall out the sky. It came from the Greek letter or Latin letters of what? Alpha. And alpha didn't fall out the sky. It came from Aleph in Hebrew, which came from Aleph in the Syriac, which came from Ah in the Nabatean or Sabbatic or Metaneter. The first letter is Ah. So A didn't just fall out the sky. So now, whether we like it or not, if we're speaking that language phonetically, there's an order as you stated, and you don't get no further back. If you go back, they're going to say, well, we know that language originated either in southern Arabia, in Yemen, also known as Sabah, Sabat, right? Because Yemen is transliterative of Benjamin or Benjamin when the children of Israel moved to that area. But before that, it was known as the land of Sabah, like Sabian. Queen of Sheba is really Queen of Sabah, which is in that same area where they say uh, these languages originated. And the other place that modern day linguists are going to say it came from is in Nubia, Napata, Meru, Sudan, period. Those are the two earliest originated linguists. They are going to say that language originated. So we factor that into our reasoning. Now we're here at the beginning of time with us being the originators of math, arithmetic, science, philosophy, language, and everything else. This is what they know. And this is what we've come to remember now, being renewed by our master teacher. So all it takes is certain lights, certain sounds, a certain condition or an environment for one to be in. And when you hear a certain thing, it will trigger something in our DNA, in our genetics that says, I remember this. Yeah, this is my culture. This is my way of life. Going back to today's discussion about what makes Wusabat a genetic doctrine. This is what we've been practicing for longer than we've been under the spell. They've only been over here whipping people in the head for the last 400, 500 years. Who were we before that? We was rocking a lot of gold on our neck, a lot of gold in our mouth, and we had a very sound foundation on how to build civilizations as seen all throughout the world. So genetically, we remember these things when we get in certain environments, when we hear certain sounds and see certain colors. But go ahead, Ed or Ro. I'm not sure if you had a thought.
I think that's it. Um, have you, so from somebody on the outside looking in and being able to, I guess some of which we're using sound right reasoning before we know what it is. That's what kind of breaks you away from, the monotony of the other stuff. Because I got plenty pushback when I started this journey or whatever. But how often, if ever, do you run into situations where that what you're teaching is being challenged to the degree where it makes you take a step back and say, wait a minute, this might be, so this might be a greater truth than what I know or what we know or whatever have you.
It's never happened. It's never happened because, as I stated, in the first 30 years our master teacher was teaching, he taught us pristine Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. So there was really nobody that was debating and challenging what he was teaching at that time or us. So there's never really been any pushback. It's for people to make the choice themselves. All we could do is present the actual facts. And the actual facts is if they're a Christian, they're saying that a savior named Jesus, which they call Michael, is supposed to return before their great and dreadful day.
Who
So the,
said Jesus is Michael? Because Christians don't believe that. The only denomination that I've studied that actually teaches that are Jehovah Witnesses. But other than them, Most Christians don't believe that Yeshua is Michael. They actually believe that this is God incarnate in a human form.
Okay. Well, if you keep studying in seminary school and read it into the Roman Catholic Church about the whole concept of Michael being at the right hand of God, or being one who is almost likened onto God, you look at the association of Jesus Christ now taking on the role, relationship of being at the right hand of God. The same one that stands up in the book of Daniel as the prince. The same one in Hebrews chapter 5, Hebrews chapter
Yeah,
6 and 7, known as Melchizedek.
got you.
So you would have to study about what's considered to be the Ancient of Days, this old soul that continues to reincarnate as it relates to that, as it relates to Michael. My point for bringing it up is that the master teacher in the 70s, 80s, and 90s says that he is that Michael that returned. So my point for bringing it up is our master teacher says he's the savior of this day and time. I mean,
Mm.
the savior of the Nagaru race, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jew, if you are a Nagaru,
Malachi
he's
is
the,
the savior.
yes.
Did Malachi sin?
What do you consider a sin?
What do you think a sin is?
I don't think a sin's anything.
So there's no right and wrong?
Right and wrong and sin is something different, isn't it?
No. Sin is wrong.
What is a
If I
sin?
if if I cut
A
a
sin,
baby's if I touch a little kid, is that wrong?
yeah, that's wrong to me, but it's right to someone else.
Okay.
Right. So the person that it's right
Okay.
to, it's not a sin to them, but it is a sin or wrong to me. So sin becomes perception at that point.
Perception, got you. So if I don't think that cutting your mom's head off is wrong, in my mind, if I don't think it's wrong, but you think it's wrong, who's right? Me or you? Or is there just no right and wrong? You see, this is where we gotta draw the line, bro. There has to be some type of divine being that has laws, just like how the universe has laws that are set. The universe is way more complex than anything. So if there's laws to the universe, don't you think there's laws of morality that this God would have set in place so we know what's right and wrong? And it says the law is written in our conscience, bro. So we know deep down what's right and wrong. And you know that. That's where you said, oh, well, what do you consider sin? Sin is anything wrong. If I cut your mom's head off, bro, that is wrong. I might not think it's wrong, but does that mean that it's not wrong? No, absolutely not. It's still wrong, bro. So we gotta know where to draw the line at. So if Malachi
The-
sinned, which he did, because he was flesh just like us, how is that our savior, bro? I don't want to follow or be saved by no man that's a sinner like me. Me at least. I can't speak for everyone else. I don't want to follow or be saved by a man that's a sinner, bro. That's why I asked, is he a sin? Is he a sinner? And you know he is. That's why you said, oh, what do you consider sin? You know the man was a sinner. How is he our savior? Because he had knowledge?
well, well, first off, I
Is
had to
that what
ask to
makes
get
him
a.
a savior, bro? That he has knowledge?
Well, I asked you so I can get your perception of what sin is. If you cut off my mom's head because she was trying to kill you, then it's not wrong for you to defend yourself.
Bro,
If that
that's
was the
different.
case,
I'm
based on your
saying if I
your
just if I
definition.
just go
No,
kill,
it ain't different. You
if I
see,
just go
how did it
slaughter.
become different? Yeah, but there's cause and reason for everything. Not everything is going to be just cut and dry. To get back to Malachi or Baba Yanun, he says, "I'm not no holy man. He's a teacher." So he came to save us by way of actual facts. You would have to go to the doctrine and look at what is being taught to make the decision yourself. If the doctrine that's being taught can save you by the information that you read, by the things that you do from what you read, then that is what saves you.
Okay, got you. So what about his doctrine could save me that I don't already know?
Do you have an actual fact or patriarch that you want to cite and
No,
we
no,
can
I'm
read
just
it?
I'm asking you what about his teachings could save me? Because if I'm not aware of it, I would want to know so I could get saved, brother. So if you really love me, you should be trying to show me how I could be saved by what he is teaching.
I can give one answer.
Okay.
There's multiple answers to that question, though, Royal. But one of the answers of how Dr. Malachi York saved me, he taught me how to meditate. Now, there's a lot of other teachers, a lot of other spiritual guys that maybe teach a certain way, but he saved me. Saved me from the streets. He saved me from sinning. If you whatever you can call sin, Dr. Malachi York saved me from that sin. That's just for me. That's for me.
Okay,
Now for
well,
you, you might
if you don't,
it for
my
for
bad,
for
keep going.
you for you it may be different. But if you look into the doctrine, some of the doctrine may can save you too.
Okay, what about his doctrine could
I
save you
I
though?
I just explained. He taught me how to meditate. The way that he taught
Okay.
me to meditate
Mm-hmm.
saved me. Now, if you get into the doctrine and you learn how to meditate like Dr. Malachi York put in the books, it may can save you too.
Okay. Well, for one, meditate on what? Because you can meditate on
So now
anything.
you asking all.
Meditation is
So now
just
you
honing your
asking.
thoughts.
So now you're asking another. Now you add another caveat to your question. You asked me how did he how what did he do to save? I'm giving you just one thing that saved me, that saved a lot of other people as well.
But bro, meditation has been a thing way before
Like I just
Malachi,
good
bro.
brother,
It's about
good
meditation
brother.
all throughout the
Now
Bible. It's
you're
talking
now
about
you're
how you.
adding all these other
I'm
caveats
not.
when you asked me a direct
I'm
question
showing you
and
that
I
that's
gave
not
you a
that.
direct answer, good brother. And now you're trying to go against the answer. And I can give
No,
you
bro, you're
now. You
not
want me to give
getting
you
it though,
another
brother.
another
Brother,
way that he saved?
meditation cannot save you from sin. No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're
It
saying
can, yes.
meditation can save you.
So
Okay,
again,
so
our royal, the doctrine saved the doctrine saved me from that. If that makes sense. So what you're saying doesn't make any sense because the doctrine, the meditation doctrine that he taught me saved me. So he was a savior to me,
saved you from what?
saved me from sin. What you described as what
So
sin
another
was.
sinful man saved you from sin?
I just explained what happened. See, now you're
Brother,
asking
you
all
got to
these
hear
questions
yourself.
now.
How could another
I digress
sinful
now, good
man
brother. I answer your
save you from
question.
sin, bro?
I answer your question.
Moment, right? Royal.
I'm not saying Malachi is not in tune. He's very
Like,
intelligent. I've
yourself,
never
please.
denied
I don't
that.
want
But
to
how
have
could
to
he
mute.
save you?
I don't want to have
That's
to
why I'm
mute. Can you
confused.
hear me? Royal, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, King.
I don't want to